Good morning, my listeners. This is Wiktor Doctor, and this is Good Morning BSS World Podcast, episode number 17. Welcome. This is already the second week when nearly all world is working from home. Nearly, yes, nearly, because there are still some jobs which need to be secured in places of offices, of the public transport, of some shops, and so on and so on. But when it comes to the BSS industry, so business support services, shared service centers, BPO companies, IT companies, most of such businesses are working from home. This is a strange environment and a strange situation, but what we can do? The best thing to avoid coronavirus now is just to stay home. Of course, it has business impact, but I guess this is the reality where we need to live in for a while. As it looks, Europe is a little bit better prepared to this situation than Asia, for example, because moving work to home offices was much easier due to technology, due to security, due to culture, due to approach. Of course, this is again not happening in every type of company, but in majority it has. And I will share with you one information later on which describes very carefully this element. But are we now just experiencing a completely new approach to offshoring or nearshoring, or running the business itself in outsourcing model? I believe yes. I believe that from now on, in all of the outsourcing or shared services contracts which are now going to be signed with potential business partners, we will need to include the way how we are going to deal in such situations as we are experiencing like now. So most probably in all of the contracts there will be a paragraph which will describe how fast the company can organize home office work for all of the employees who are providing the work. Of course, this is again connected with the security, with the management type, and so on and so on. So this is not the way that we can move business to home, but how we can do it, how fast we can do it, how secure we can do it, and how we can manage it. So I expect that a lot of outsourcing contracts are now going to have a special section dedicated to that, just to secure their clients the situation not to happen again, to be faced that we are not knowing what to do from one day to another when our governments are closing our doors, streets, and the companies. Oh, I guess it is going to be very interesting time when it comes to the business relation in outsourcing model in coming weeks, months, and years. Okay, let's take a look why it may happen. Because we have already a good example when it comes to call contact center industry. Already since 1990s, a lot of call centers were used to use their employees working from their homes as a normal business model. So, is it now time for the finance companies, IT companies, research and development companies, of course besides the labs? Most probably yes. So, call contact center gave a good example already 30 years ago that it can be done. So now it's time for other outsourcing companies to follow. Let's see if it will happen like that. I guess the time will show us it very, very soon. Let's take a look on what happened in BSS industry and the environment of this industry in the past few days. So first of all, I'd like to share with you information that the company Cushman&Wakefield, which is a real estate agency, has shared 3 new reports concerning office market in 3 big destinations for BSS investments. Those destinations were the cities of Poznań, Tri-City, and the city of Łódź, and from those reports you can find out the office environment, how it is ready and how it is prepared for the investments, not necessarily only from the BSS industry, but mainly from that industry. So how many office buildings are there present? What is the total space of office spaces? What is the level of costs, and so on and so on. So you can find it out from the market beat reports presented from Cushman&Wakefield. Another interesting article, or rather news, has come from companies Cluedo, Genesis and Yosh AI, because those three telco companies or technology companies have implemented automatic assistant to the National Health Fund of Poland. This bot is providing answers to frequently asked questions related to coronavirus. So this is one of the very good examples of really fast implementation of an automatic assistant which can support the medical sources or the National Health Fund when it comes to the replies to the coronavirus situation. Another news came from UK. Do you know or do you use Zoom technologies? This is a company who is providing voice and communication technology, video technology, when it comes to the connectivity via internet. So you can organize the video calls, video chats, and so on, organize private rooms. This company has informed about increase of 1,270% of downloads of their video and conferencing platforms between February and March 2020. So as you can see, working from home has a positive impact on download of such solutions like video conferencing. 1,270% increase from month to month. Very nice work. Okay, so now I will come back to this comment from the very beginning of my today's episode, which is that Europe is a little bit better prepared to work from home than Asia. I found it out from one of the articles written by Phil First from HFS Research, where he shared a very interesting article, not short, but quite big one, describing the fragility of the offshore outsourcing industry. Take a look on this report, because some of the topics which are included over there are very, very interesting and may have really a huge impact on the way how we are viewing, how we are seeing, how we are understanding the approach to nearshore or offshore activities. Very interesting is also a fact that below this article there are already comments coming from various managers representing various companies, where some of them do not agree with the point of view presented in the article. So I encourage you to read the article and the comments, and perhaps you will share your comments based on this, what you read over there. Is offshoring still going to survive in such situations as we are experiencing like now? Probably yes, but how it can deal with such crisis situations, this is certainly a question which needs to be answered very, very soon. Okay, so another news which was released within the last few days was coming from the Fortinet company, who has released the Threat Landscape Report about cybersecurity. The company has summarized the 2019 year, describing the trends in the cybersecurity. So if this is the area which is in your interest, then I encourage you to read this report, and I will certainly leave you the proper link to get familiar with it. Another thing which I wanted to share with you today is my own experience after being present on the webinar run by Krzysztof Herdzik from Herdzik Pro company from Poland. Krzysztof is a very well-known manager in Poland who is dealing with BSS industry since 17 years already now. And last week I was invited by Krzysztof to join his webinar when he was sharing the experience of China business, how they dealt with the approach to business continuity during the coronavirus crisis. So Krzysztof has run 45 minutes webinar where he has described each of the 5 phases how Chinese business was dealing with the coronavirus situation, from the panic situation going to the managing it, and then going to the phase of starting again running a regular business. Very, very interesting comments. And what I decided to do, I didn't discuss it with Krzysztof, but I will leave you the link to Krzysztof's email address, so you can contact him directly and ask for these comments. This is really worth to know, because it will help you to find out where your organization is now and how long it may take to come back again to the business reality which we remember before the coronavirus situation. In his experience, in his webinar, he presented the phase which lasts for nearly 90 days. Probably now we are in a different situation, because we know already much better what has happened in China and what may happen in the other parts of the world. So maybe it is not going to be 90 days, perhaps a little bit shorter, but anyway, it's good to know in what phases what is happening and what is the priority and what is the biggest concern of the business players within these activities. So I really encourage you to contact Krzysztof, and then you will find out what you may expect within the next coming days and the weeks. Okay, so now let's move to the events. Probably you are very much aware of that all of the conferences are stopped. Last week I was sharing with you information about what kind of events we can expect in September already. So like SSO, when is planning their event on September 8th till 11th, and this is still in plans. But I guess that today I am not going to talk to you about any of specific events, but rather about webinars. Every week in Poland, and probably in the other countries as well, we are experiencing the new webinars which are presented by various companies, by various individuals who are sharing their thoughts, best business practices, and other topics which can be used and which are valuable for the BSS industry as well. So I encourage you to follow the companies which you are working with. I encourage you to follow also the LinkedIn, because a lot of companies and business players are sharing their information about what kind of webinars are taking place. Some of them are very short, like 20-30 minutes. The others last for 1.5, 2, or even longer hours, or maybe even longer time, but all of them are, I guess, worth to at least be aware what their content is. So follow them, find out the information which companies and individuals are sharing, because maybe this is something what you need now. If you cannot attend the regular events, if you cannot attend the places where usually we get information from various companies, then webinars are now the answer of it. I can notice that in Poland there are webinars now about, for example, the business management, robotics, automation, HR management, crisis management, and many more. So I guess this is the same in the other parts of the world as well. What I have also noticed is that the podcasts are running up. I don't know if you are listeners to the podcast. I am listening over 20, maybe even now 25 already different podcasts on daily basis. And I have noticed that a number of authors of them have increased their activities nowadays. So like only from the outsourcing industry, I'd like to share with you that, for example, IAOP, so International Association of Outsourcing Professionals, SSON, which is Shared Service and Outsourcing Network, or even TED, are sharing much more content via podcasts than they did so far. Maybe this is the answer for the situation which we are experiencing right now. Maybe it will stay with us like that for the longer time, or maybe it will be over once the crisis is over. But anyway, the podcasts are really delivering a valuable content on daily now, not only weekly, but daily basis. So I encourage you to follow the podcasters, because they can share with you a lot of valuable information. Okay, so let's go to the end of today's episode. If you want to share some of your thoughts of what is happening in your companies, then I encourage you to write me an email or call me, and I'm really happy to discuss with you how your organization is now dealing within this strange home office work. Now we are starting the third week of home office, so be patient, stay safe, and I'm more than sure that this situation is going to be over soon. In Poland, we already know that till Easter we need to stay home, so it's another 2 weeks in front of us. So let's see how it will go on and how big impact it will have on various businesses, and also for the business services industry, including outsourcing, shared services, global business services, IT, R&D, and many other companies. Okay, that's it for today. So thank you very much for being with me. If you like this, what you are hearing, or if you want to be updated on weekly basis of what is happening in BSS industry, then subscribe my podcast, stay with me for a longer. And I am present on most of the platforms for podcasts, but also on YouTube, so you can find me over there. Thank you very much. My name is Wiktor Doctor, and this is Good Morning BSS World Podcast. Talk to you soon.